In a world where hard work and relentless striving are glorified, many of us find ourselves trapped in an exhausting cycle of pushing ourselves to the brink, constantly chasing a vision of success defined by our achievements. We've been conditioned to believe that our worth is measured by what we accomplish, forcing us to fight against the natural rhythm of life and carve out our path through sheer struggle. Yet, in this endless fight, we lose sight of something profound, the quiet, transformative magic of surrender. The ancient philosophy of Wu Wei, rooted in Taoist wisdom, invites us to rediscover this forgotten truth. It is the art of flowing with life rather than against it, teaching us that sometimes the most powerful path forward is found not in forcing, but in trusting the gentle currents of the universe to guide us. Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese sage, taught a profound truth. When we release our grip on control, we often discover that everything falls into place with ease. At the heart of this wisdom lies Wu Wei, encouraging us to act in harmony with life's natural rhythms. Often translated as non-action, effortless action, or actionless action, Wu Wei is not about passivity or inaction. Instead, it is the art of allowing life to unfold as it is meant to, moving with the current rather than against it. By embracing this practice, we align ourselves with the flow of the universe, finding that true effortlessness arises not from force, but from trust in the way things are meant to be. This concept is vividly illustrated in the Tao Te Ching, the foundational text of Taoism. Lao Tzu compares the Tao, the natural order of the universe, to water. Water does not resist. It flows around obstacles, seeking the path of least resistance. Yet, over time, it has the power to shape mountains and carve canyons. The gentle persistence of water embodies the essence of Wu Wei. It reminds us that power often resides in the gentlest touch, the effortless flow, and the art of letting go. Against the timeless wisdom of Wu Wei, modern life often compels us to prioritize effort above all else, creating a culture that glorifies busyness as the ultimate virtue. We equate constant activity with productivity and self-worth. Yet this endless striving often leaves us drained, frustrated, and burned out. It's like pushing a heavy boulder uphill each day, only to watch it roll back down by nightfall. A Sisyphean cycle that mirrors the lives of so many caught in the trap of effort without mindful direction. This relentless pursuit blinds us to the possibility of ease, obscuring the simple truth that harmony and fulfillment are found not in the forceful push, but in the intelligent flow. Consider the weather, the stock market, or the actions of others. These are all forces beyond our control. When we attempt to force outcomes in such areas, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Life's unpredictability demands flexibility, not rigidity. By insisting on control, we often create resistance, much like rowing against a strong current. Wu Wei invites us to sail, to align with the wind and the water, using their natural flow to guide our journey. Wu Wei does not advocate laziness or passivity. On the contrary, it emphasizes intelligent effort, knowing when to act and when to let go. In the sport of archery, success depends on focus and alignment. An archer does not rely on sheer strength to hit the target. Instead, they draw the bow with steady precision, waiting for the perfect moment to release the arrow. The archer's calm focus and efficient movement embody the principle of the least possible action, achieving a perfect shot with minimal effort. The key is to use effort only when it's most advantageous and never at the wrong moment. A farmer diligently tills his soil, plants seeds, and waters his crops. But once his work is done, he must trust the natural processes of growth. If he constantly digs up the seeds to check their progress, he disrupts the very growth he seeks. Wu Wei teaches us to recognize when our efforts are sufficient and to trust the universe to handle the rest. We often cling to the belief that with forced effort and determination, we can shape the world to fit our desires. Yet, life has a way of humbling us, reminding us that so much lies beyond our control. Unexpected events, the choices of others, and the unpredictable currents of existence all create a reality that cannot always be bent to our will. This truth, though unsettling, carries a profound lesson. Rather than exhausting ourselves in the pursuit of total control, we can find freedom in embracing life's uncertainty. Lao Tzu warns that forcing things often leads to unseen troubles. When we interfere with the natural flow, we disrupt the balance that sustains life. For instance, over-farming and deforestation, human attempts to extract more than nature can provide, result in soil erosion and climate change. On a personal level, forcing relationships, careers, or goals often leads to frustration and disillusionment. By contrast, when we align with the rhythms of life, we cultivate harmony and fulfillment. Imagine learning to play a musical instrument. Instead of practicing relentlessly to the point of frustration, you approach it with ease, enjoying the process. By focusing on small, consistent efforts and letting your skills develop naturally, you find yourself playing with confidence and joy without forcing progress. One of the most profound aspects of Wu Wei is its paradoxical nature. By doing less, we often achieve more. This principle is beautifully illustrated by Alan Watts, who compares rowing to sailing. Rowing is a labor-intensive way of moving a boat, requiring constant effort. Sailing, on the other hand, harnesses the wind and water, allowing the sailor to move effortlessly with nature. Similarly, when we stop resisting life and start flowing with it, we tap into a power far greater than our own. Writers, artists, and musicians often experience this state of flow, a mental state where ideas and inspiration come effortlessly. This state cannot be forced. It arises naturally when the mind is relaxed and receptive. The more we try to control creativity, the more elusive it becomes. By letting go, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of the universe. The principles of Wu Wei can transform every aspect of our lives. In relationships, it encourages us to listen, empathize, and respond authentically, rather than trying to control or manipulate others. In the workplace, it helps us focus on meaningful efforts, rather than staying busy for the sake of appearances. In personal growth, it reminds us to trust the process, allowing change to unfold naturally rather than forcing it. Imagine being stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. The frustration bubbles up. You're tempted to honk, stress, and fume at the delay. But what if, instead, you chose to accept the situation? You take a deep breath, release the tension, and use the time to reflect, plan, or simply be present. In that moment, you shift from resistance to acceptance, conserving your energy and preserving your peace of mind. From a spiritual perspective, Wu Wei invites us to trust the universe and its divine timing. It teaches that our desires are whispers of the soul, guiding us toward our highest potential. When we release our attachment to specific outcomes, we make room for the universe to work its magic. Often the outcomes that arise are better than anything we could have imagined. Nature is an ever-present teacher of Wu Wei. Trees do not strain to grow. They simply reach for the sunlight, trusting the earth to nourish their roots. Birds do not force their flight. They ride the wind, adjusting their wings to glide effortlessly. Even the sun and moon follow their paths without haste or resistance. A river flowing down a mountain does not fight against the rocks and boulders in its path. It simply flows around them, finding the easiest route. Over time, this persistent yet gentle flow shapes the landscape, creating harmonious beauty. These examples remind us that surrendering to the flow of life does not mean giving up. It means trusting the natural order and working in harmony with it. There are times when effort is necessary, and times when surrender is required. Recognizing the difference is the key to living in harmony with the Tao. Wu Wei is not about abandoning action, but about finding balance. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, am I forcing this? If the answer is yes, step back and reassess. Trust that the right opportunities will come when the time is right. Letting go is one of the most liberating practices. It frees us from the burdens of worry, overthinking, and self-doubt. By surrendering to the present moment, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and clarity. This state of mind allows us to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and grace. Consider the story of a man who loses his job unexpectedly. At first, he feels devastated, but in time, this loss leads him to discover his true passion and build a career that brings him joy and fulfillment. By surrendering to the flow of life, he allows the universe to guide him toward his greater purpose. The art of Wu Wei is a timeless reminder that the greatest power often lies in the gentlest touch. By aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life, we can achieve our goals with ease and grace. Whether in our personal lives, relationships, or careers, Wu Wei invites us to trust the process, embrace the present moment, and allow the universe to work its magic. In surrendering, we discover that life's greatest gifts are often found not in striving, but in letting go. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I deeply appreciate your time here.